All right, guys, we're back, and we're gonna be talking about tonight breaking out of the matrix. Yeah, I thought this would be an interesting topic because it's really been an analogy I've been using now for quite some time, and I've noticed that you got a lot of people now that are very popular that are using the same analogy, and I thought it was kind of cute. Very very popular people that are now using it, but I want to actually begin to kind of define it and actually talk about actually how do we actually break out of this thing. So if you guys are watching the replay, please go ahead and hit the word replay real quickly. Put the replay in the chat, put replay in the chat, put replay in the chat, put replay in the chat. Hit it one more time, put replay in the chat. Because yeah, this is the replay. Now, if it's live in the chat, guys, I want you to just go ahead and tell me hello. If you guys are live right now, tell me hello so that I can see you. I think we're live right now on like 2 different Facebook groups. So I think we're live on my page on Facebook. I think we're live on the Be Free page on Facebook. I think we're live on YouTube on the Be Free page, and we're also live on YouTube on my own personal page as well. So I think we're like live like a lot of places. So I don't even know if this thing is working. So I'm going to be the first one to tell you guys hello and then respond and tell me hello. I want to see if I can actually see it. So I see Marcia Prince. Good night to you and Miss Prince. Good to see you. All right. So what's going to happen, you guys? We're going to go ahead and define a few things here about the matrix, and then we're going to go ahead and go into exactly. Wow, that's another article. Okay, we'll talk about that later. What it is and how it is. And then, guys, I want to invite you guys really to come over to my YouTube channel. It's kind of confusing, right? Because I'm going to have 2. One where I'm going to be like me, like the radical, the person who really won't have a filter, who will be able to express everything from political to economical to emotional, all of it, right? That's going to be my channel. But then the Be Free channel is where I'm going to give the content and teaching and engaging. But the Financial Moses channel, there's no limits. Like, we're going to talk about everything. Black Lives Matter. We're going to be talking about Kanye. We're going to be talking, I mean, anything that's here is controversial. Trump. Like, there is no, like, they don't talk about sex, politics, and religion. We're going to talk about all of it because all of it affects us, and why not talk about it? Like, if it doesn't affect us, right? So what is the matrix, guys? The matrix is a set of beliefs, right? I want you guys to really write this down, right? The matrix is a set of beliefs. It is a set of beliefs. I need you guys to get this because the truth is, and y'all ain't gonna like this. And all right, let me tell you the backstory to this. Is it all right? All right. I only wanted to be like 10 minutes tonight, but it's, of course, every time I start, like, I end up wanting to add more and add more and add more. But tell you the backstory to this, right? So I grew up all my life teaching financial literacy, teaching debt-free living, teaching biblical principles. What came to debt-free living, and I applied it to my own life. And I was in college at the time, and I finally got out of college, and I finally opened my own mortgage companies, and I was doing well, right? But I'm teaching this to all of my people. I've written curriculums for the Urban League of Young Professionals. I've written curriculums for the NAACP and Nashville, Tennessee chapters. You know, I've written curriculums for Breakthrough Ministries. I have my own curriculum called Change Your Mind, Change Your Money, See Why I'm Squared. You know, I've done a lot, right? And I was young, guys. I was less than 30. I was under 30 years old doing all this stuff, right? And I'll never forget, I was doing some counseling, and they had followed like everything that I had taught. And they were broke. And it bothered me a lot. It bothered me a lot. A lot. And then I sat back and looked at my own finances, and I wasn't doing as well as I thought I should be doing. Right. And so I really began to like question what I was teaching. Like, I really began to really like dive down and question like what I was teaching and why it wasn't working. And then, have you guys ever started a series of questions and you answer one question, that question leads to another question, that question leads to another question, that question leads to another question, and so on and so on, right? Well, that's what happened. I started asking myself questions. Well, where did this thought come from? And where did that come from? And where did this come from? And where did that come from? And I began to say, well, when I took, the classes, when I had my insurance license, and when I had my mortgage license, who wrote the curriculums for those? Like, where, who wrote the manual? Because a lot of things just didn't make sense. But I went along with it because that's what I was taught, even though I knew it didn't make sense. It's like, hey, this is how they do it. It's the system. We're just gonna, go with the flow. And then when I noticed that it didn't work, it's like, wait, if this don't work, I know I'm not so smart that I'm not the only one to notice that this stuff isn't working. Is this intentional? And that's when really I can say, like, my eyes first begin to open. Like I can just barely see. And over years, man, I just began to peel back the layers and peel back the layers and peel back the layers and begin to understand that I was a slave. And the truth is, about 98%, 97%, somewhere in there, of Americans are slaves. If you're listening to me right now, chances are you are a slave. Now, I'm not talking about a slave in the fields of Alabama and Mississippi and south of the Mason-Dixie line. I'm not talking about that kind of slavery. I'm saying that you are a slave, but you're a slave mentally. You are enslaved to a set of beliefs that has been programmed to you your whole life, and that it's the only thing you know because it's the only thing you've been taught. So now I want you to start thinking about things like this, right? Tell me, why do you think you never learned investing in school? Why do you think you never learned taxes in school? Why do you think you never learned business ownership in school? Why do you think that you never learned credit in school? Like, these are essential things. They taught you home ec. They taught you how to swim. They made sure you had good health, right? They had all of these other components to life that were necessary for you to graduate. But money, finances, taxes, business development, ownership were not one of them. Then you went to college. They never taught you about money in college? Wait. So y'all, I really want y'all to pay attention to it. You went through at least 12 years of school in high school. And then if you went and got your associates, you went through 14. If you got your bachelor's, you went through 16. If you got your master's, you went through 18. If you got your doctor's, you got 20 years of education. And out of all those 20 years, you never learned the keys to life, like living, money. You cannot do anything without money, and nobody ever taught it to you. Why? How? Because they wanted you to stay a slave. Now, guys, if this is good, I want you guys to go ahead and share this out real quickly, because I'm going to tell you just a set of beliefs, and then we're going to begin to unravel those beliefs. But I can't do it all today. Like, it's going to have to be a series, guys, because I'm already 8 minutes in, and I only want to be 10 minutes long, and I haven't even got to pass point one. It's a set of beliefs, and you were programmed with these set of beliefs from the time that you were born. And the reason you were programmed is because your mama and your daddy was programmed, and your grandmama and your granddaddy was programmed, and they daddy, mama, and daddy was programmed, and every generation has programmed each other, while somebody's sitting back reaping the benefits of it from the ignorance of humanity. Everybody's been programmed. Everybody. And now the matrix is a set of beliefs that keep you enslaved inside of a system so that you can keep the economy going and the rich can benefit from it. Now, this is not something where I want you to be mad at rich people. No, I want you to be mad at rich people. I want you to become the rich people, right? Like, join the game. If you can't beat them, join them, right? I don't want you to become mad at rich people. I want you to join the rich people. That's the key. That's how you win this. And then you teach your children to also be the rich people and join the rich people. Because now that you've escaped the matrix, you want to help your family escape the matrix and actually begin to do it. So what is the matrix? It's a set of beliefs, guys. All right, now let's talk about the set of beliefs, and then we can actually talk about it, guys. So now, well, let's go ahead to point number two. Well, no, it's the point number one. So it's a set of beliefs. So inside of these beliefs, you guys, it is how society wants you to operate. It is your education. It is your health, it is your wealth, it is your entertainment, it is a set of beliefs. So let's just deal with just something simple like money, right? Because that's really why I'm here. It's my thing. I'm Financial Moses. I talk about money, right? Um, and Landy, I see you said it's voluntary slavery. I don't think it's voluntary. I don't think we had an option. I think that we were tricked and taught to do this, but it was never really something that was really given a choice about, right? So when we say that is that um well, let's just use money, right? And guys, if you can put one in the chat if this is true for you. Have you ever heard this statement before, right? In order to be wealthy, you have to work hard. If you heard that, put a one in the chat, right? Whether it's a replay or live, I don't care. Put a one in the chat. If you heard this before, I want you to put a two in the chat, right? Money don't grow on trees. If you heard this before, put three in the chat. In order to get ahead, you need to save, right? If you heard this before, put a four in the chat, right? That a good return on your investment is 6 to 8%. Somewhere between 6 and 8% is a great return on your investment, right? If you heard this before, put a five in the chat, right? And these are things that we've been told about money, right? Pay off your debt and live debt free. Five in the chat. Pay off your debt and live debt free. Put a six in the chat if you heard this before, right? Six in the chat, and that is that if you want a promotion or you want to do better, then go back to school, right? Go back to school, right? That's numbers, right? And I can keep going. I can keep going and keep going and keep going and keep going. I really can. But I think you guys get my point, right? These are all set of beliefs that are absolutely not true to keep you tied to the matrix. Keep you tied to the matrix, right? All right. Here's another one, seven, that you should, is number seven, right? And I want to put a whole bunch of them in, that you should invest in a 401k, a mutual fund, or IRA. 401k, mutual fund, IRA. One of those three you should invest in, right? And that's going to be your retirement, right? All right. Number seven, right? Y'all, all of this is the matrix. All right. So let's break it down, a set of beliefs and how they're not true and how they keep you tied to something that you really can't break free of, right? So now I want to play another game before we go into this, right? We talk back to me. Y'all know I'm a preacher, right? All right. So the next question is, how many of you feel stuck? Right? I want you to see how many other people that you see that are in the same situation that you're in that really everybody can't be feeling the same way. That I feel stuck financially. I feel stuck emotionally. I know that there's greater in me, but I really don't know how to do it. I really desire for more, but don't know how to get it. Right? That I'm just stuck. That I'm just spinning my wheels, kind of living check to check. Really don't know how to get ahead. And I'm watching everybody else look like they're winning on Instagram, on vacation, and Facebook, and they're doing all these kind of stuff. And I'm wondering how I feel stuck. Like, and I want to take the classes. I went to school, I got good grades, I did all this stuff, and yet I'm still stuck. Some of you got degrees, you got bachelors and associates and doctors and masters, and you're still stuck. Some of you are literally have professional jobs. You are a doctor, you are a nurse, you are a lawyer, you are a teacher, you are a public servant, you serve our communities, you're doing a great job, and you are still stuck. You go to work every single day and you are still stuck. If that is you, why do you think that's it? Guys, I want somebody to say that's me in the chat, right? Thank you, Nicole, for being honest, right? Seriously, because what you're doing is that you're exposing other people that not only are you in it, I'm in it with you. And when people can see that, hey, listen, it's, I see 20, 30, 40, 50 other people that are in the same situation that I'm in, something's got to be not right with that. 78% of Americans live check to check. 78, guys, that's 80%. We're in the world's richest country. And 80% of the people are broke, living check to check. That is intentional. It's not an accident. It's the matrix. It's intentional. Guys, I'm telling you, it's intentional, right? Now I see Nicole was the only one. Nicole, thank you. Only one that was brave enough to say that to me. But that's okay. We'll keep going. Right. The dangerous thing about the matrix is that it's invisible. So most people are in prison and they don't even know they're in prison. Most people are enslaved in their minds and don't even know they're enslaved in their minds. And how do you fight an invisible enemy when the enemy is really what you think and what you thought and what and how you've been programmed? Oh, it's genius. Go to school, get a good education, get a job. You might go back to school, right? But get a job, buy a house, get 2 dogs. What's going on, Queen? Good to see you, baby. Right. And what's happening is that it's a program. It is literally a program. So, and I really didn't want to get this deep tonight, but I am. Right. You are the fuel that keeps our economy moving. Right. You're the fuel that keeps the economy going. Oh, wait. Am I looking at the wrong calendar? Okay. You're the fuel that keeps the economy going. If everybody today was debt free, let's see, and no longer had a need to work, what would happen to our economy? Dr. Jackson, that last link you just put in there is wrong. It's bit.ly/TLD training. Um, thank you. Yeah, you corrected it. All right. Um, if everybody could just get up and leave their jobs, what would happen? The system is made so that people keep it going. Okay. Tell me, watch this. Tell me your trade in the chat right quick. What trade do you have? Some people their trade is medicine, some is engineering, some is teaching, which would be education. What trade are you? What field are you in? What field did you go into? I went into medicine. I went into engineering. I went into, what field did you go into? Let me see it here. All right. I'll let guys wait for you guys to put that down. I know there's probably like a 3 or 4 minute delay because I am using another thing, right? Watch this. Right. So when we were taught younger, we were, I see a broker, a dealer. What's going on, girl? If Yashika, I can't tell you her real name. What's going on? Good to see you, babe. Right. So you went into a field, right? Some kind of field of study. But when we were in slavery, we were also in a what? A field. Guys, they're both fields. I want y'all to think about that. You're in an engineering field and our ancestors was in a cotton field, but both of them were slaves. You're in a medical field and they were in a tobacco field, but both of them are slaves. Working for someone else, helping them get rich while you live check to check, while you try to sit back and struggle and try to make ends meet. They're both fields. You just picked your field, and our ancestors, they were given theirs. It is a set of beliefs. It is an invisible world. It is a prison of the mind that must be broken. So how do we actually begin to unravel this matrix? First of all, acknowledge that there is one. You have to first acknowledge that there really is a matrix, something that is invisible. I can't see it, but I'm captive to it and I can't get out. That is the first. Acknowledge that there is a matrix. Number two is acknowledge that you're stuck in the matrix. Yeah, I'm serious. Seriously, I'm in it. I'm stuck in it. If that's you, say that's me in the chat. I'm in it. I'm stuck in it. But then on top of that, I want you to come back and say that if I'm stuck in it and it's my mindset, it's a set of beliefs, then I got to do something different than what everybody else is doing in order to get out of it. Because music reiterates the matrix. Your broker reiterates the matrix. Your banker reiterates the matrix. Your insurance person reiterates the matrix, right? Everybody's been taught. Who wrote the curriculum that taught your banker? Who wrote the curriculum that taught to talk to your insurance person? Who wrote the insurance person? Who wrote the curriculum that taught the broker? Right? Who wrote the curriculum that taught um, your financial advisor when they got that Series 6 and that Series 7? Who wrote the curriculum? The people who control the matrix. Let me tell you how messed up this is, right? Right. And I told you guys I just start pulling back layers, pulling back layers. I can talk about this all day long. Right. So they told us, right? They told us this. They said that you cannot buy and sell time. Right? You can't do it. You can't buy, guys. I'm telling you, I used to be there. I've preached this from the pulpit. Open the Bible. You can't buy and sell time. Right? I'm telling you, I didn't done it. But the truth is, time is probably the number one commodity that is sold every single day. It is the number one commodity that's sold. And guess who's selling it? You are. Every time you go to work for $20 or $15 or $14 or $25 or $30 an hour, you've done an exchange of your time for a monetary gain. If I exchange something for something else, I sold it. I sold an hour of my time for $30 an hour. Now, you're not trading it, you're selling it. It's not a trade, you're selling it. You are selling your time. You know why you can't get free? Because all your time has been sold to your job. And now you're like, oh, I want to be free. Well, why can't you get free? Because I need the job to pay the bills. So now watch this. If I can get rid of the bills, then I might be able to get rid of the job, but I can't get rid of the job because I got the bills. Well, where did the bills come from? They told me get the mortgage. They told me get the car. They told me get the student loan debt. They told me get the credit cards. They allowed me to get the credit cards, rather. They allowed me to get the mortgage. They allowed me to get the car note. And it was taught and programmed into you to do this from the time you was this big. How you gonna go to school? Student loan? How you gonna get a car? Get a loan? How you gonna get a house? Get a mortgage? It's been taught to you. This is the enemy. It is the enemy. Guys, let me tell you this. This is the set of beliefs that we want to switch, right? Listen to me. Rich people buy time and poor people sell it. If I want to get ahead, I have to find ways to leverage more opportunities. How do I do that? I want to leverage, right? The same way you use leverage like a lever to lift something heavy or leverage to borrow. Well, there's also another kind of leverage called human capital. Human capital is another form of leverage. Automation today, using whether you're using AI or you're using automation or you're using funnels, that's also another form of leverage, right? Computers is another form of leverage. You're leveraging technology, but you're also leveraging other people's time. It's human capital. And so there you have been taught all your life to sell your time for money, but nobody ever told you to buy other people's time, to leverage other people's mind, that you can buy and sell time, right? This is just what y'all. When I get done with y'all, I promise you, I'm going to set you free. Because the stuff that I'm talking about, well, when we get done, it's going to be very practical for you. So I had to figure out a way to where I could separate my time from my money. That is one of the ways out of the matrix. It's like step number 6. I skip a couple steps, but that's okay. I need you to write this down. I must separate my time from money. I must find a way to make money when my time is not connected to it. That is how you be free. I chose a vehicle of real estate. So if you don't know, I'm used, a 200-year-old secret that I found out about called tax liens and deeds. Um, that they don't teach you. There's a reason they didn't teach you this. There's a reason they told you go get the mortgage. There's a reason that nobody tells you about it and how to do it because they didn't want you to know. But your 401k knows about it. Your IRA knows about it. Your mutual fund knows about it. You know how I know? Because the people that I bid against at the auctions are hedge funds managers, and they got your IRA, your 401k, and your mutual fund. That's one of the things they're investing in is called tax liens and deed certificates. Or tax lien certificates and tax deeds would be buying the house. But yes, so the people who got wealth know about it, but the people who don't, they didn't tell about it. But it's older than the stock exchange. It's older than the Federal Reserve System. And nobody told you about it? It's held at public auctions at least once a year in your county. It's in the newspaper. Your state legislator has actually wrote bills about it. Your governor has signed it, and nobody has told you about this? They tell you to go get a house, but they didn't tell you that you can get one for pennies on the dollar at a tax sale? Nobody told you about this? So one of the ways that I separate my time from money, guys, is I use the tax lien certificates, guys, and I bought my first house for $300. Most people don't believe that. Bought my very first house for $300. My second house, well, not my first house. That's not true. First house, I was in Nashville. That's when I was in the Matrix. Got a mortgage for it. My second house, I was in the Matrix. I got a mortgage for it. But my third house, I paid $300 for. My fourth house, I paid $300 for. My fifth house, I paid $300 for. My sixth house, I paid $500 for. And then so on and so on. I pay less for a house than most people are paying for their cell phone, for this. But most people are paying for this. I pay less. What you're watching, the device you're watching me on right now, I pay less for that than most people do. Well, I pay for less for a house than most people do for gadgets and toys. In order for you to be free, you guys, I want you to do this. I want you guys to go right now to bit.ly TLD training, bit.ly/TLD training. I want you guys to begin to understand how I use tax liens and deeds to literally be able to get me out of the matrix, to separate my time from money, to help myself be able to get to that next place in life. You say, oh, it's a training. It's got to be some trick. You want to sell me something. I do. And guess what it is? It's $9.99. I want to help you change your life for the rest of your life. And it's going to cost you an hour and 10 minutes of your time, 20 minutes of your time, and $9.99. Are you worth investing that kind of into yourself? That much? Hour and 10 minutes, 20 minutes, and $9.99. It doesn't cost anything for the training, but if you want to actually do and get started, it's $9.99. That's the first step to getting out the matrix. Now we're gonna come back tomorrow. We're gonna talk more about the matrix and start talking about another way to get out and how to get out and what you can do to get out and why I did real estate and how I got me passive income and how do I work this passive income and how do I actually borrow now against the real estate in order to actually do things like pay off my investors, which we're doing now one by one. Really refinancing, paying off investors, refinancing, paying off investors. All right. That's some of the things that we're doing. But I couldn't do that without the assets. I couldn't live without the assets. I wouldn't be free without the assets. Guys, let's get the assets, take the free training, go separate, learn how to separate your time from money. And I'll see you tomorrow as we continue to talk about how you can get out of the matrix. Literally, right? Got to get out. Somebody said, I want to be free, right? That is what you want to do. That's your goal, is that I want to be free. And I want to show you, and I want to help you along the way. Guys, this is Financial Moses, your George Howard. I am now signing off. But before I do, I must tell you that I love you with the love of Christ. God bless you. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right.